This is Forbidden Bridge. It is by far one of the coolest, if not the coolest, board game that I ever had growing up as a kid. This was released by Milton Bradley in 1992, right along another amazing board game, which was It from the Pit. Now, when I say board games, I use that term very loosely because they were more like toy play sets that had a little board game at the bottom of it. That's what made it so cool because it was more than just some little pieces moving along a piece of cardboard. It was like a literal play set that you could put together and have. It was, yeah, like a toy. Anyways, I got this for Christmas when I was a kid, and yeah, I had so much fun playing it. Even if I didn't exactly go by the rules, you could kind of just make up your own adventure along the way and play however you wanted. But now, as a grown-up, I'm going to unbox this thing, show you everything. Most of the pieces are still here, and we'll go through the rules and everything, and this is just going to be a big, huge blast from the past, for me at least. And we'll see exactly how this was supposed to be played, and we'll go through a whole game of it. Okay, so as we take a look at the front of the box, it says a motorized adventure game, Forbidden Bridge. Down here in the corner, it's see the angry idol come awake. Feel the bridge shudder and shake. Steal the jewels and race to escape. So it kind of looks like an Indiana Jones kind of vibe. The head there looks very, very evil, very scary. On the back of the box, who dares to cross it? You do in this thrilling race for jewels. Watch out for jagged holes, rickety railings, and slippery planks as you cross the bridge. Then quickly grab a jewel and run for your canoe. But don't wake the idol or you're doomed. Oh no, the die shows an idol. Press down the idol's head and it awakes to shake the bridge. Hang on as it rocks, sways, and twists. Even when the bridge stops shaking, beware. Other explorers can push you near the edge or steal your jewel. The first explorer to get 2 jewels and escape wins. So everything is basically secondhand kind of set up, cardboard pieces. First up, this is the idol head. Okay, so his hands just kind of sit like that. Rickety bridge. Alright. So this is the bottom of the whole bridge. Got those pieces. Here is the bridge itself. The other side of the bridge. Here are the pieces for everything else. The game pieces. 2 die. So we got a canoe for each player, according to their color here. There's that. Here are all the jewels that we will be stealing. So rich, man! And these pieces right here we will connect to the bridge here and there. So these cardboard pieces, I only have 3, I'm missing one, but they would be inserted into the slot here. One, 2, there is 3. I just want to point out that snake right there. Ugh, I just hate seeing it. And obviously, let's just pretend we're putting one in. Alright, and 4. We'll do this step, get it out of the way. We'll put the jewels in our buddy's hands there. Alright, so when you take a look here, there's an A piece right here, and then there's a B piece, and then right here is a C. So you take this piece, it'll go into the slot like this, like so. And then you do the same with this. This is the same A, B, and then boom, right there. And now how you'll connect these, you see these little holes right here. You'll place them where these pegs are on each of these. Okay, so there's that. And there are these tabs right there that this board can go under. Alright, so it looks like so. Just slam that right there. Boom. Now we'll take our bridge and apply it. There are these pegs right here. Boom, 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 boom. That's where we will cuff these onto. And now we got these plastic pieces, and some planks don't include the holes to put these in, so they're very hit and miss where you could find the holes. So let's just put them all in. Alright, so I'm going to choose the green guy. So we made it to the beach, drop our canoe off. We'll move up, boom, boom, boom. We got a 1, and we got to put it between these pegs here. We got a 3, but we also got the idle. The first thing we got to do, hit the idle. All right, we're good. Move 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I rolled a 5 and an idle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a 2 and an explorer, but I'm playing by myself, so it doesn't matter. 1, 2. All right, we got a 5 and an explorer, and we made it. Boom, boom. Let's steal a jewel out of there, place it in my backpack, and we are on our way back. You know, I'm not getting the idle too much, but, you know, let's just do it. Oh, that was close. It looked like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do the idle again. All right, we got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this again. Okay, so we'll make our way down the cliff here, and we will put our jewel into the canoe, and we will work our way, boom, 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 back up to the bridge. Right here. Make our way to the middle of the thing. How about that? Let's hit the guy. Nope. Move again to this one. We're doing pretty good, this guy. I'll say we get screwed, all right? And there's 3 people on this thing. There are 3 pegs. But some of these are a little janky, so let's do this. Oh, no! We'll move up to this one. Oh, God! So we'll move up, and we'll get our second gem here. We'll get it out of this hand this time. Put it in there. And we'll move our way back. And let's hit the guy. Oh no! I'm hanging on by a limb. My jewel fell down there. So Mr. Red here could move his way down and steal it if he is somewhere in the vicinity closer than I am, and get a jewel a lot easier. But let's just put it back in our backpack for now. And it's our turn once again. Get out of the hole. And we start there. Try again. All right, we weathered that storm. We'll do this one. So anyways, you move your way down here, and you have to have the 1 jewel, the second one, in your backpack, and you move your canoe back down each space, boom, boom, boom. We made it to the finish line, and that's how you win the game. So, pretty cool. Okay, so this is all for the assembly, so we could skip all that. Okay, so the object. Collect 2 jewels and be the first player to reach the finish space with them. To begin, you'll paddle the river, beach your canoe, climb the cliff, and cross the bridge to take a jewel from the idol. You'll then put the jewel in your backpack and bring it back to your canoe. See the trail map below in figure 4. Then you'll head back to the idol for your second jewel. However, instead of taking a jewel from the idol, you may be able to steal a jewel from another player or pick up a fallen jewel. How to play: youngest player goes first. Play continues clockwise. What to do on your turn: roll and move. On your turn, roll both dice. The numbered die tells you how far to move your explorer. The picture die directs you to do different tasks. After you roll and do what the dice say, your turn is over. You can only move in one direction on your turn, moving from space to space along the trail. Each game board, cliff, and bridge space counts as 1 on your numbered die roll. All spaces are explained on pages 6 and 7 under the game spaces. So there's green, trail to the idol; gray, trail to return to the beach. Okay, so die rolls. Move your explorer the number of spaces shown on the die. Note: when moving explorers on the bridge, do not press down hard on the bridge planks. Idol. Press the idol's head down as far as it will go. That's when you get this. Yeah, where is it? Right there. Boom, boom. Oh no! The idol will start shaking the bridge. Important: when you roll the idol, always press the idol's head before doing anything else. Explorer. Move an opponent's explorer to another spot on its same bridge space. You may want to move it to a more treacherous spot, but not in a large hole. See figure 6 for an example. This is an optional task. You may move another player's explorer before or after you move your own explorer. If no explorers are on the bridge, ignore this die. So when you roll this, you get to move someone else's explorer closer to a piece of the bridge that may fall very, very easily. Okay, so if you roll a jewel, and if you're not already carrying a jewel, try to steal a jewel from another player's backpack. This could be done while on foot or in a canoe. This is an optional task. You may steal a jewel before or after you move your own explorer. Here's how. Steal and move. If you're already sharing a space with someone who has a jewel, take it and put it in your backpack. Then move your explorer. See figure 7a. So here you are right here. You are the green explorer. You rolled a 2 and a jewel. Steal your opponent's jewel, turn around and move 2 spaces towards your canoe. Move and steal. Land by exact count on the same space as another player who has a jewel and steal it. Now, if no jewels are available for stealing, ignore this die. You cannot steal a jewel that is in the bottom of a player's canoe. Alright, so game spaces. There are 3 kinds of spaces: game board spaces, cliff spaces, and bridge spaces. Each space counts as 1 on your numbered die roll. Game board spaces. There are 12 game board spaces. 2 or more players may share the same game board space. 5 river spaces. Only explorers in canoes can move from river space to river space. Explorers on foot cannot move onto these spaces. Start, finish space. This river space is not only where you start and finish the game, but it's also a dead end. So there is the graph for that. Whenever you move onto the start-finish space without 2 jewels, you must stop and stay here until your next turn. The beach space. This is the only space along the river where explorers can land or launch their canoes. Explorers may also move onto a cliff space or a jungle space on foot from here. When landing your canoe or boarding it, count the beach space only once. Jungle spaces. Explorers on foot may move from jungle space to jungle space. Usually you are on one of these spaces because you either fell off the bridge or you are seeking a fallen jewel. Some jungle spaces are connected by logs. You may use a log as a shortcut to cross the river. The log does not count as a space. Okay, so cliff spaces. There are 3 cliff spaces on the climbing cliff. There is 1 platform space on the idle cliff located at the end of the bridge. Climbing cliff spaces. Use these 3 spaces to climb up and down the cliff. Players cannot share any spaces on the climbing cliff. If your move ends on an occupied space, move ahead to the next empty space. The idle platform space. When you move onto this space, place a jewel in your explorer's backpack. Your explorer must then stay here until your next turn. You do not have to land here by exact count. Only 2 players may share the idle platform space. If you wish to move onto this space and 2 other explorers are already on it, you must wait on the 13th bridge space until an explorer leaves the platform. Then, on your next turn, you may move onto it. Bridge spaces. There are 13 bridge spaces. Some bridge spaces are safe, some are dangerous. Up to 3 explorers may share most bridge spaces. Bridge spaces with large jagged holes only allow 2 explorers to share the space. If your move ends on a fully occupied bridge space, move ahead to the next empty space. What happens when the bridge shakes? After you roll an idle and press the idle's head, the bridge will shake. Explorers may remain standing on the bridge, or explorers may fall off the bridge or fall down the bridge, or hang off of it. Jewels may fall onto the bridge or off the bridge. Important: if your explorer falls or is left hanging on another player's turn, you cannot touch it until it's your turn. How to position an explorer on the bridge. Whenever you move your own explorer or another player's on the bridge, the explorer's base must rest flat on the bridge plank. The explorer must also always face one of the cliffs. The explorer should not hang off the edge or be put in a large hole which it could fall through. Some spaces are pegged. Be careful when placing an explorer on a peg or removing an explorer from a peg. Fallen explorers. On your turn, you may stand up your explorer after you roll the dice. If you roll the idle, you must press the idle first before standing up your explorer. Here's how to determine which space to stand your explorer up on before completing your move. Stand it up on the space on which its head rests. If its head is between 2 bridge spaces or between 2 land spaces, stand it up on either one. If its head is on a river space, stand it up on the land space, jungle or beach, nearest its head. An explorer cannot stand up on a river space without its canoe. If it's hanging off the bridge, stand it up on the bridge space from which it's hanging. Fallen jewels. After you roll the dice on your turn, you may pick up any fallen jewel as long as 1, your explorer's backpack is empty, and 2, you are either on the same space as the fallen jewel or can move there by number die roll. You do not have to land there by exact count. When you're on the space, pick up the jewel and place it inside your backpack, then stay there until your next turn. Here's where you may find a fallen jewel. If a jewel has fallen into a river space, that jewel must be returned to the idol immediately. If a jewel has fallen on a bridge, jungle, or beach space, your explorer may move onto that space to pick it up. If a jewel has fallen between 2 bridge spaces or between any 2 land spaces, jungle or beach, your explorer may collect it from either space. If a jewel has fallen onto a log, you may cross the log to get it. Fun bonus: if a jewel falls into your explorer's canoe, you get to keep it. Where to put your collected jewels. Your first jewel. When you collect your first jewel, you put it in your backpack. If you steal your first jewel while you're in your canoe, follow the rules for stealing jewels. Then return to the beach space and put the jewel in the bottom of your canoe. Your explorer must then stay there until your next turn. Your second jewel. When you collect your second jewel, you put it in your backpack. Your second jewel must stay in your backpack. If your explorer's on foot, return to your canoe on the beach space and stay there until your next turn. If you steal your second jewel while you're in your canoe, follow the rules for stealing jewels on page 5. You do not have to return to the beach space. Just head to the finish space. How to win. When your explorer has both jewels, one in its canoe and one in its backpack, you can move your explorer in its canoe towards the finish space. You must travel on the river spaces to get to the finish space, and you must move by number die roll. Jewels are safe in the bottom of your canoe, but watch out, other players may try to steal your jewel from your backpack as you travel in your canoe. The first player who moves on to the finish space with the 2 jewels wins the game. You do not have to land on the finish space by exact count. So that's the instructions for Forbidden Bridge. So there you guys go. Thanks for watching. That is Forbidden Bridge. I'm DJ Glowing Ice, saying peace out and see you next time.